Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's Dustinkreis and today we're going to do a game discussion. We're going to talk about this game right here, Resident Evil Revelations, for the Wii U. Also on the 3DS and basically every system out there other than the Vita. And to recall a line from my youth, no sir, I don't like it. I think I'm done with Resident Evil on the whole. This game... for a while there, I was having a good time with it and enjoying it, and then from a storyline perspective, it just threw me off. It threw me off the boat. No pun intended. Yes, there's a pun intended. And then from a gameplay perspective, I literally almost threw a $50 controller over this. It's just I'm so infuriated with this game that I don't want to play a Resident Evil game ever again. Maybe some of the older ones like 4 and 2, but as far as getting a new Resident Evil game, I'm just done with the series. Really done with it. Just everything. On an everything level, I'm just kind of done with it. The games, they don't provide any scares for me anymore. You know, the entire time I was playing it, I felt like it was just kind of diminishing returns. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to go crazy over this, but I actually had a lot more fun playing Silent Hill Homecoming than I had playing this. And a lot of people really hate Silent Hill Homecoming. Silent Hill Homecoming, but I don't know, man. I just where to even begin? I mean, this is going to be kind of a bad game discussion because, like, I just don't care so much that I'm just going to be kind of going through it rather quickly. The storyline makes absolutely no sense. I have no idea what's going on in this story. I have no idea who these characters are, except for, you know, Jill and Chris. I have no idea what the set pieces are, like Terra Grigia. I have no idea where that came from. What game was that in? Is that in 5? You know, no, you can't refer to something in 5 because this is supposed to be a prequel to 5. So I don't know where Terra Grigia fits in. If it just comes out in this game only, then they did a terrible job of explaining what the fuck was going on. All the other characters don't care. Don't care. You know, this political intrigue between the BFC and the BSAA, don't care. You know, it's just like, I have no idea what any of this is, you know, happening. And look, I play JRPGs a lot. I can deal with a nonsensical storyline. You know, the Tales of series just throws all this technobabble at you all the time. I can deal with not knowing what's going on. But, you know, when you combine the storyline that you have no idea what's going on, combined with gameplay that just drives you insane, it's a recipe for disaster. And maybe it's just because I haven't played a survival horror game in quite a while. But this game, it just drove me nuts on every level. You know, the controls for what they are pretty okay. There's a dodge mechanic in here that barely works, and when it only works about half the time. Let alone in this boss battle. There's a reason why I stopped playing it. You know, the aiming feels extremely loose, and I can't blame it on the controller. Because, you know, the PS3, I always complain about the PS3, their control sticks being a bit loose feeling. The Wii U's Pro Controller has a very nice motion to the stick. So it's something in the programming of the aiming. The default was way too fast. I'd always overshoot my mark. Even the slow was a bit too fast, and then the very slow was just way too slow. So I don't know. It just you know, part of me doesn't even want to do this video. Part of me just wants to get through this video as quickly as possible because I just don't care about this game. I don't care about it. You know, it's so terrible because Resident Evil is one of those series that I kind of grew up with in a way. I remember getting Resident Evil 2 on my N64 and just loving that game to death, and just to kind of see where it's gone. I don't know. Basically, but the thing with the game is, I kind of made it through the game pretty easily. And this is how Resident Evil games usually go. you make it through the game rather easily, and then you get to this like final boss battle, and the final boss battle is just like the difficulty just spikes way through the roof. And you know, maybe it's just me getting old and not being able to play these games anymore, but the boss battle where you fight Norman, I had to restart that fucker 30 times, and I still haven't beat it. And the dude just takes way too much damage. I mean, it's funny because you have Chris in there with you, and Chris basically does next to nothing. And doesn't even distract the guy. Like, the guy, it'd be kind of cool if, you know, he would vary his attacks between me and Chris. You know, like, Chris is an actual presence there, aside from him just yelling out eventually, "What is wrong with this guy? Is he invincible?" And yeah, he kind of is. He's got 2 weak points, one on his chest and one on his back. The one on his chest, will make him stagger. And then you're supposed to quickly shoot the one on his back. But he's always facing you, and you can never get to the one on his back. And I got really far into the battle, but I'd run out of herbs, and he just has some attacks that, because the dodge system in this game is so shit, I couldn't do anything. And there's no running. I can't, like, sprint real quick to get out of harm's way. It's just, it's so infuriating. And I think that it really makes me just want to be done with the survival horror series, because you know, back in the day, I kind of liked that the controls hampered you a bit, and it made it feel more terrifying. But when you have a game that has an enemy that seems very action-based, and then you throw your character, basically, this character is very nimble, and your character's just kind of sloughing around like it's a tank, you know, that's not fun. Because then you're not fighting the boss, you're fighting the controls. And you know, as far as a survival horror game goes, this does have great, you know, not great, but pretty good controls. But when the enemies that you're fighting are so much faster than you that you can't even react to them, because honestly, sometimes by the time, you know, I'm running around kind of shucking and jiving to get out of his way, and then by the time I aim and then get the cursor over his chest, it's already too late. I've either taken a hit or he's doing something else. So it's probably just a failure on my part, but even so, it makes me just not enjoy the game. I mean, if I'm thinking about throwing a $50 controller, then it's time to take the game out and just put it on the shelf and forget about it. But yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be some Resident Evil fans out there that are like, "What are you talking about, man? It's a great game." And, you know, if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, then yeah, here you go. But for me, it sucks because I can't even drop the difficulty down. In order to drop the difficulty down, I have to replay the entire game. And I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. So, there's a very good chance that I will never finish this game. A very, very good chance I will never finish it. And that kind of sucks because it's, you know, it's for my new system and things like that. But I think I'm definitely done with Resident Evil. Just done with it, because the storyline has gotten so batshit nuts I don't even care anymore, and that's kind of the reason why you play these games, to see, you know, what's going on next. But let's see if we can salvage this a little bit. The graphics are actually really nice. I really like the graphics in this, and I don't know if it's a straight port of the 3DS version or, you know, what enhancements they had to do to it, but you know, it's not going to win any awards for its graphics, but it still looks really good. I was actually really surprised that this started out as a 3DS game. And then the audio, the voice acting is shit. Let's just put that out there. Terrible voice acting, which is kind of a hallmark of the series. But yeah, the music is kind of forgettable. You know what? I don't even know why I'm continuing this video, because I'm trying to make it salvage something, but I did not like this game. Fundamentally, just did not enjoy my time with it, and so I think I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to think about whether I actually want to post this video or not. I think I will, because, you know, gotta keep it real. And I think I'm just done with this series, and this is the game that did it. which is one of the better reviewed releases, and that's why it really makes me want to just be done with it, because 5 got terrible reviews, 6 got kind of terrible reviews, and this was kind of like the supposed to be the light, the beacon at the end of the tunnel, and I just don't care. I just don't care. So anyway, that is it for this video. Kind of depressing. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.